Hi everyone, it's Dan Spears with BMI. I'm so sorry we can't all be in person this year. Certainly one of the highlights of my year annually is the opportunity to go out to Big Sky Country and be with you all. But I can take this opportunity to thank the broadcasters of Montana for their support of BMI songwriters over the years, particularly during this pandemic. It means a lot. The best way we can show our thanks is to showcase one of our great songwriters. Stephanie Quayle is certainly a force to be reckoned with local ties to Montana. Originally from Bozeman, she's been named by CMT as one of the next women of country. Rolling Stone magazine calls her an artist to watch. She's performed in the Grand Ole Opry. She's hosted the ACM and CMA Awards. And just recently, she was named as one of the top 10 female artists in country music. Ladies and gentlemen, BMI singer-songwriter, the pride of Bozeman, Montana, Stephanie Quayle.
Thank you so much, Dan, and hello everyone with the Montana Broadcasters Association. It's an honor to be here. This is my dear friend Nine Fader, and big shout out to Dewey. Just thank you for all you do. It's been quite a year, and this first song that we're going to start off with, I co-wrote this one, and it's really been just a song of resilience and one I go back to a lot of times. And it's also very Montana, because it's called Evel Knievel. Say you got a dream, everybody got a dream. How are you gonna do it? It's easier to be living like you're asleep and never follow through it. How do you jump when you can't see the bottom? Playing the cards you don't know you got. Just one part crazy, one part leap of faith. Hey, to run like a wild horse, chasing that sun, even if you're all out of breath. Aiming your arrow straight for the stars, even if you can't see your head. Ain't no one born with nerves of steel. Sometimes we gotta take our hands off the wheel, fly like an eagle, like Evel Knievel. You say you got a heart, nobody got a heart that hasn't been torn up. It takes a little risk, may even wanna quit, but it's all a part of all the mountains, valleys, roller coasters. Pull you in, then push you over. Find your wings on the way down. Yeah, you learn how to run like a wild horse, chasing that sun, even if you're all out of breath. Aiming your arrow straight for the stars, even if you can't see your head. Ain't no one born with nerves of steel. Sometimes we gotta take our hands off the wheel to fly like an eagle, like Evel Knievel. Just one part crazy, one part leap of faith. And even if you're going down a place, run like a wild horse. Aiming your arrow. Run like a wild horse, chasing that sun, even if you're all out of breath. Aiming your arrow straight for the stars, even if you can't see your head. Ain't no one born with nerves of steel. Sometimes we gotta take our hands off the wheel to fly like an eagle, like Evel Knievel, like Evel Knievel. That song so many times, and I just went back to that song during what was such a year. And 2020, we all face those challenges head on, and just I'm so grateful to you all for paying those licensing fees and taking care of all of us songwriters. With a year without touring, we looked at a lot of screens in 2020. This next song I co-wrote, and when we put this out in 2019, we were sure it was going to be the song of 2020. And it sure became that song because we knew what everyone was drinking about. This is What You're Drinking About.
1, 2, 1, 2, damn.
What you drinking about? What you drinking about? What you drinking about? I tell you what, that song, oh man, got into the top 60 on the Billboard country charts, and we are so grateful, so incredible, and it's just been played so many times. Shooting that music video was so much fun in the Bass Pro in Memphis, and that's a really precious memory because we traveled all over in 2019 and leading up to it, and 2020, I mean, we were on the road 5 days a week, and then all of a sudden, we weren't. Like you all have experienced so much craziness this last year. So just again, thank you all for having us. Such an honor to be able to share our music. As a songwriter, what you guys do for us is, it's imperative, it's so important, and we appreciate you valuing our music and our songs. It's really, really special. And to the winners, congratulations. We're going to finish up this set with one of our latest releases called Wild Frontier. We've been able to share so much of Montana through this song, which is just one of my favorite parts about making music, is being able to create these mini movies to go along with it. So this is Wild Frontier. I'm Stephanie Quayle, 9 Fader. Thank you all for having us. Having an amazing time. place of glory in uncharted territory, never knowing where the story ends. You can never tame the thunder, we don't have to claim each other, never have to rein the other in. There ain't no fences way out here on this wild frontier. If you get too far, follow the North Star. Where you're lost, it's gonna lead you back to my arms. Keep your eyes on my horizon. I'll be waiting even if it takes a million years. We can stay right here on this wild frontier. I'll be your wild frontier. The sky will be our only border, even as the days get shorter. I'll keep you warmer and dry you near. All the names of where we'll carry this love will be legendary long after we're gone and buried here on this wild frontier. If you get too far, follow the North Star. Where you're lost, it's gonna lead you back to my arms. Keep your eyes on my horizon. I'll be waiting even if it takes a million years. We can stay right here on this wild frontier. I'll be your wild frontier. We'll run wild and free like it's supposed to be. Yeah, it's you and me out here on this wild frontier. If you get too far, follow the North Star. Where you're lost, it's gonna lead you back to my arms. Keep your eyes on my horizon. I'll be waiting even if it takes a million years. We can stay right here on this wild frontier. I'll be your wild frontier. I'll be your wild frontier. Thanks, you guys, and have a great one.
Good evening and welcome to the 2021 EB Awards ceremony. Good evening, I'm Keith Teskey. I've had the honor of serving all of you in this challenging year as the chairman of the Montana Broadcasters Association. We had to make the determination several months ago as to whether we would do this in person or virtually, and it seemed prudent at the time that we would do this virtually. Next year, we will be in person at Big Sky, and we're looking forward to seeing all of you there. The individual and teams and stations that are honored here tonight represent excellence in Montana broadcasting and the commitment that all of us share as broadcasters to serve our communities. We come together tonight to show our gratitude and appreciation for each and every one of you. Will you please join me in thanking our exceptional crew from Montana PBS for their hard work in presenting tonight's show. And let's carry on. There's a long tradition of support from both of our flagship Montana universities for the broadcasting industry. Speaking on behalf of these non-commercial stations in Bozeman and Missoula, I can tell you that our universities are proud to be part of our state's broadcasting community. A few notes regarding the awards, the process, and the entries. Tonight's nominees submitted were evaluated by judges that are broadcasters all across the country with no affiliation to any stations in Montana. Thank you, Dewey, for keeping that all straight once again this year. And something different this year, we created a judging committee to review the criteria and the methodology. And we added a couple of categories, and then we added more judges to review each entry. A special thanks to everybody that served on that committee. That would be Bill Whitsitt, Tammy Wagner, Phyllis Hall, Brandon Sullivan, and Kevin Scalore. From all of us at the MBA, thank you to everyone who submitted their work. Since we aren't in person, checks and awards will be shipped to you. As EB Award winners, you represent the best in Montana broadcasting. Congratulations to all of tonight's honorees on a great body of work. Now I'd like to take a moment to introduce our congressional delegation who would like to offer their thanks and appreciation for all the work you do for our state.
Hello, and thank you for inviting me to share a few words with you today. It is always a privilege to be with this fine group. At this point in the speech, I usually like to tell a bad joke about a Dewey experience. But the last time I was around Dewey, he was a big deal, and he had a placard to show it. I want to talk about a more serious issue for a moment. And I want to thank you all for your hard work that you've done over the last year. It has not been an easy one by any stretch of the imagination. But you all have provided an invaluable service to your cities, your communities, and to our state. You covered the COVID-19 pandemic right from the start, providing resources to help keep Montanans safe, give guidance on county, school, and hospital guidelines, and more recently, helping folks access vaccines. And your reporting on the removal of Postal Service boxes across the state helps safeguard the rural mail delivery that so many Montanans depend upon. To put it bluntly, the work that you've done has made a tremendous difference in the lives of Montanans in every corner of the state. In times of great uncertainty, the members of the Montana Broadcasters Association have led with the truth time and time and time again. Your commitment to telling the whole story from a balanced perspective is not only necessary in times of bitter polarization, but truly essential to preserving our great democracy. I wouldn't mind a few friendlier stories about me, but we can talk about that at another time. Your work keeps our community safe and informed and often goes without thanks. So on behalf of the people of Montana, I want to express my deepest gratitude for all that you've done over the last year and will continue to do in years to come. Thank you, and enjoy your celebration.
Well, welcome to the E.B. Craney Awards, and thanks for inviting me to share a few words. This virtual gathering is dedicated to recognizing the excellence in local news, production, promotion, and public service across our great state of Montana. Ed created the Greater Montana Foundation in hopes to encourage the media's focus on delivering news important to Montanans. And it's really great to see you all living out Ed's ambitions. Through your work, you bring important content and issues for Montanans to light and cover stories that impact people from Eureka to Ekalaka and everywhere in between. Montana broadcasters have the unique ability to share the untold stories of Montanans and bring communities together through radio and television. So thank you again for your dedication to your craft and enjoy the E.B. Award ceremony.
Welcome to the E.B. Craney Awards, and thank you for inviting me to join you virtually. This gathering is dedicated to recognizing excellence in local news, production, promotion, and public service across the great state of Montana. These awards are in memory of Montana broadcast pioneer Mr. Ed Craney. Mr. Craney established the Greater Montana Foundation to ensure citizens were getting quality news on issues and trends important to Montanans. Through your work, Mr. Craney's vision is achieved. You all play a critical role in providing Montanans with important news and insights that lead to a more informed state. Montana broadcasters provide stories, conversation, and information which impacts the everyday lives of the people who occupy all 147,000 square miles Montana has to offer. The news media has a special place in my heart. Growing up, I helped my family run a local newspaper, so I know how important it is to get people their news when they need it. Thank you again for the great work you continue to do, and enjoy the E.B. Awards ceremony.
Keith,
Dewey?
how are you doing?
far better than I deserve.
You are. You're doing a great job already. By the way, what we wanted to do was start off with recognizing Keith's work during this interesting time this last year. Also Greg Pace, who also had part of this past year with the COVID. And so we're presenting Keith with a plaque with sincere thanks from the Montana Broadcasters Association for your years of hard work and dedication as a board member and chairman. Your commitment to the betterment of broadcasting in Montana is greatly appreciated. Presented June 19th, 2021. Keith, thank you very much. We
Thank you,
appreciate
Dewey.
what you've done.
Thank you very much, and thanks everybody. It's quite an honor. Thank you, Dewey.
You're welcome.
All right, as a lifelong broadcaster, Ron Davis has been committed to serving broadcasters and the people of Montana for his entire life. At this time, I'm honored to turn things over to Butte's very own Ron Davis.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As we gather tonight to celebrate excellence in broadcasting in Montana, we have to go back to 1958 when Ed Craney and his wife Connie started the Greater Montana Foundation with the idea of devoting its time to develop communications of issues of importance for the people of Montana. In 1961, with that in mind, the Greater Montana Foundation created the first radio and television awards for excellence to help spur the development of reporting, programming, and even technical use within the state of Montana to help Montana broadcasters be proud to be a part of the Montana Communications Network. Well, tonight we see the work that the Montana broadcasters have put together. Your free over-the-air broadcasters have been working hard to drive for excellence. And tonight we not only salute our winners, we salute all those who even entered the Greater Montana Foundation E.B. Craney Awards, because your push for excellence has pushed others as well to give Montanans quality broadcasting. Also tonight, we salute the people of Montana, who are the true winners. According to Ed Craney's philosophy and his vision, the people of Montana need to have quality reporting on issues of importance to Montanans. And through surveys conducted by the Greater Montana Foundation, we know for a fact that Montanans respect, trust, and believe what Montana broadcasters provide them. Thank you for joining us tonight. And thank you to the Board of Trustees of the Greater Montana Foundation for keeping these awards alive for the last 59 years.
Good evening. How you doing? My name is John David, and I'm going to be your host tonight, introducing the awards with a script in front of me here. So if I'm looking down, that's why, because the script is very, very detailed, and we're going to be working with a wonderful crew here at the Montana Public stations, public TV stations. I think they picked me because I'm pretty good at ad-libbing. So we're going to have a little bit of fun tonight, and the crew is all here when we're ready to go. And so I'm supposed to say that I'm John David, and on behalf of the Montana Broadcasters Association and our longtime partner, the Greater Montana Foundation, welcome to the 59th Annual E.B. Craney Awards. In being voting with us tonight, you're going to represent the absolute best in Montana broadcasting. Through all of your work, the Montana radio and television stations provide our communities with the essential news, information, and programming that everybody counts on. Your commitment to excellence, which we celebrate tonight, is ensuring a bright, vibrant future for quality broadcasting and journalism in the state of Montana. So here's how this is going to work, hopefully. The EBs nominates two finalists in each category, and if you're nominated, you're already a winner. We'll announce each nominee and we'll show a clip of their work. From there, we'll announce the EB winner and give you a brief chance to make a brief acceptance speech And let me repeat that. I've got a plane to catch tomorrow on Sunday afternoon, so I would ask you to do a brief acceptance speech. And I'm going to say that means about 37 seconds, so you can remember it. 37 seconds. If you go over that a little bit, we're not going to cut you off, but we would appreciate you being brief because a lot of people want to say things tonight, and that would be very helpful. So let's begin appropriately with the radio commercial of the year. The evaluation of the radio commercial of the year is based on production quality, creativity, and imagination. This year's finalists for Radio Commercial of the Year are Troy Mellinger from KWGF-FM for Cowboys Bar Jake and Festus, and KBAZ Missoula for KC Production 2020.
Where you headed, Jake? Getting off the dusty trail, Festus. At the Cowboys Bar and Museum, I can get the good, a nice cold beer. Or I can get the bad, a shot of tequila or whiskey, whatever strikes my fancy.
The Cowboys Bar and Museum, they've got whatever strikes your fancy at 311 3rd Street Northwest.
Did somebody order snow with a side of snow?
It's last call for snow. It's been an amazing ski season, and it's not done yet. It's the last call for snow sale at the Roundhouse, your outdoor adventure headquarters located on Main Street in Bozeman.
The radio commercial of the year, EB winner, is Troy Mellinger from KWGF-FM for Cowboys Bar Jake and Festus. Our judges felt your entry was clear, interesting, and stand out without being overpowering. It's my understanding that Troy could not be with us tonight, but we want to make sure that we say congratulations, Troy, and we hope that to see you soon in person and at the awards next year in person as well. So, Troy Mellinger, congratulations. The finalists for TV Commercial of the Year are Carly Rainey of KBZK and Matt Reed of KBZK.
My name is Shelly Connor, and I'm the owner of Glass the Green Beauty Counter in Uptown Butte. I decided to start Glass to give people a healthier, cleaner option. Green Beauty is healthy, non-toxic makeup, cosmetics, skincare, and other lifestyle products. Everything that we put on our skin.
If you haven't been to the last wind-up lately in downtown Bozeman, it's about time.
The EB goes to Matt Reed of KBZK. And Matt is not with us tonight, but we appreciate him winning. And so congratulations, Matt Reed of KBZK. You know, one way in which a station serves its community is by providing important messages and information through public service announcements. Entrants for the public service announcement or campaign of the year submitted up to 3 PSAs to demonstrate their effectiveness. Finalists for the Radio Public Service Announcement of the Year are Miga Yeaker of KOPR for KOPR Halloween, and Scott Keith of KMTX for Westmont Supported Employment Campaign.
Copper 94's Treat Street's up and running. We're ready to go on Halloween, handing out great candy, but we need more candy. On Halloween Day, we're going to have a great event with all kinds of free candy for the kids, and this could be a COVID-friendly event. It's about time the kids get a win and get to enjoy an event, right?
I just want to talk a little bit about the adults with disabilities that we have working in our establishment. We are so proud to have 3. They always bring such a high level of energy. They're on time. I would highly, highly encourage anybody who's looking for a wonderful team member to join their staff to look at hiring an adult with disability.
Westmont, promoting quality work for people with disability.
Ladies and gentlemen, this year's EB winner is Mika Yeager of KOPR for KOPR Halloween, and our judges call this relaxed but effective and a very good use of client abilities.
Thank you. I'm actually Maggie Davis. Mika couldn't join us this evening because she is at her bachelorette party, but she did prepare a brief speech. I apologize for not attending myself. First off, I want to thank the Greater Montana Foundation and the Montana Broadcasters Association for making this possible. I have been in radio for just over a year, and never did I think I would qualify for a radio award. It was a group effort, and I couldn't be happier to work with the team.
I'd really like to have these louder if I could. I can't hear them.
I want to say thank you to my creative team and my production team. Without their help, this radio public service ad wouldn't have turned out so great. Receiving the Radio Public Service Award is a great honor. Thank you again.
All right, the finalists for Public Service Announcement and Television, Public Service Announcement or Campaign, I should say, are Blake Duffner of KTMF for Takeout Missoula and Carly Rainey of KBZK for Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
Life before Ariana, it was kind of boring, honestly.
We like to play Nerf wars a lot.
Yeah, John is really funny.
We enjoy a lot of the same things. It's like he's like an 11-year-old version of me.
Do you think people should become bigs and littles?
Yeah, because then we both share our experiences and then we become better people at the end of the day.
With coronavirus finally reaching the Treasure State, local bars and restaurants, they're doing their part to help flatten the curve. But that doesn't mean you still can't enjoy your favorite local cuisine. From burgers to barbecue, sushi to subs, hey, maybe even your favorite brew. Your local hometown bars and restaurants are open for takeout and delivery. You can support local jobs and businesses in your community, and we can stay strong together.
All right, the EB goes to Carly Rainey of KBZK for Big Brothers, Big Sisters. One of our judges broke their own rule of not giving feedback to say it makes you want to go out right now and sign up to be a big kudos. No, a big, not a big kudos, but a big kudos to everyone involved. I'm sorry. Carly Rainey, we understand, is on a shoot tonight and is not going to be able to give her acceptance speech, but we want to congratulate Carly Rainey of KBZK. Okay? Well-executed station promotion establishes a station's brand, builds an audience, and sets you apart from the crowd. The Station Promotion Award goes to the radio or television station that has demonstrated their effectiveness in promoting the image or positioning of the station within its local market. Finalists for radio station promotion are Scott Hershey and Scott Keith from the Montana Radio Company, and Chris Wolf and Chris Wolf from Cherry Creek Media.
This is Cammy.
Cammy, this is Scott at Montana Radio Company.
Hi!
Hi! You won the helping grand!
Are you serious? Did I really win?
It's time for the Z100 Gorilla Turkey Drive, powered by Missoula Electric Cooperative. We're collecting turkeys to make sure everybody in western Montana has a turkey for Thanksgiving. To see how you can help, check out z100missoula.com.
And the EB goes to Scott Hershey and Scott Keith from the Montana Radio Company. It's my understanding that they could not be with us tonight to accept this in person on our broadcast, but we want to congratulate Scott and Scott as well. Okay? Finalists for the television station promotion are Blake Duffner and Joe Lasar of KTMF and James Rafferty of KPAX.
Ben Weinman here, ABC Fox Montana. We're coming to you tonight with some breaking news.
Live in the studio in 4, 3, 2.
Difficult decisions will have to be made.
We were preparing for increased numbers.
They can process several dozen coronavirus samples in a day.
That Montana's response to this outbreak is still evolving and bound to change.
Take care of yourselves, but also take care of each other.
And the EB goes to Blake Duffner and Joe Lassar from KTMF.
No, that's great. I'll be short. I'd like to thank, obviously, Joe Lassar for helping me, Blake Comans, everyone at KTMF, and Montana PBS for getting me to where I am now. So thank you.
Weather reporting combines an in-depth knowledge of complex information, as you all know, with the unique ability to deliver it concisely and in a way that grabs an audience. Entrants in the Weathercaster of the Year category supplied the judges with taped excerpts from at least 2 weather reports showing commitment to the viewers and a statement explaining what makes a good weather broadcast. The finalists for Weathercaster are Elizabeth Copeland of KPAX and Brooke Foster of KECI.
Here are some looks at the road from some of our MDT cams around the state. Trout Creek, closer to the western side of the state, you can barely make out the road there. Swan Lake also very, very icy. Reported snow and ice this evening as snow continues to accumulate closer to the divide there. Those passes especially have got quite a bit of snow. Lookout Pass had a semi spun out blocking lanes earlier, and Lolo Pass, I can't even see the road at this point.
Finally, some snow is making its way into western Montana, and we've got it accumulating as we head into the evening hours. That means your commute into work tomorrow morning could be slick in spots. Right now, Kalispell, you're sitting at 33 degrees. You can see a little bit of snow peeking through on our radar. That is where we do have a little bit of snow accumulating.
And our Weathercaster of the Year is Brooke Foster of KECI. We want to send our congratulations to Brooke this evening. A few things tie a community together like local sports, and sports broadcasters celebrate the spirit of local student athletes and the excitement and drama of competition. The radio sports coverage category is open to radio sports reporters or a team of reporters for a collective body of work during this contest year. Finalists for radio sports coverage are Coulter Nunez of KKVU and James Cardarelli of KOJM, KPQX, and KRYK.
There's another topic of conversation here, and that is what has gone on recently here with the now Washington football team and the icon that they have had from the Blackfeet Indian tribe, but actually from your family.
If you could put this on here, this profile of a warrior, that is what I would like to see done if you're representing my people.
As football season approaches for the MSU Northern Lights, captains for the upcoming season have been named. Among those selected as a captain by their teammates is senior wide receiver Marvin Williams Jr. New media broadcasters caught up with Marvin about what it means to him to be selected as a captain by his peers.
It's nice to know that all the hard work that I've put in the last 3 years for Northern has finally been noticed by my peers.
Okay, we want to congratulate Coulter Nunez of KKVU for winning this award tonight. We thank you very much. The television sports story or series category is open to a sports reporter or a team for a single story or a series on the same subject. Finalists this year are Brandon Sullivan of KTVQ for Senior Night, Jean Ann's Story, and Scott Breen and Brandon Sullivan for KTVQ for Bad Girl.
When you enter a gymnasium and the home team is playing their final regular season game, oftentimes you're treated to a tradition known simply as Senior Night. For MSU Billings senior guard Jean Ann Lemlin, it's a night she's anticipated since her days on the playground at Poly Drive Elementary.
This time has gone really, really quick. 22 years has just gone by in a flash. And yeah, I get teary-eyed when I talk about it.
She has her heart set on this, man. If you were to sit down with JoJo right now and ask her what she wants to be, she'll tell you professional boxer. She'll tell you an Olympic boxer.
According to USA Boxing, which is like the big one, in the 85-pound weight class, I am #1. The
winner, Brandon Sullivan, KTVQ, for Senior Night, Jean Ann's story.
Well, thanks, guys. I got to work with Scott on the other one, and I don't know what to say other than we really appreciate John Stepanek, all the years he put in at Q2. He's retiring this year, and he's one of the big ones that allowed us to do stories like this. And I want to thank Scott as well. We work good together, and it's always fun teaming up with him, and of course John Saunders for again, all his support and throughout the years. So Justin Martin, all the guys at Q2, we appreciate it. So thanks, guys.
Congratulations to you, Brandon. The Sportscaster of the Year category is open to radio and television sports announcers in a single market or network of Montana stations. The judges reviewed examples from more than one event in order to examine meaningful analysis and relevant commentary on sporting events. The finalists for Radio Sportscaster of the Year are Paul Panesco of KBOW and Coulter Nunez of KKVU.
We are now tied once again. Montana Tech with a basketball. Sindhu Diallo gets it. Drives down the right side of the paint through the double team. Too deep under the basket, looking for the whistle. Nothing there. Carroll in transition. Hillman steps through, puts it up. No. Gets his own rebound. Double teamed, and Hillman trying to get position. Bounce pass.
Humanity and humanitarian harmony can be found in the world of sports. For us that work in the sports industry, we get to see firsthand how wonderful and inspiring it is when you do have a true coalescing of cultures, where you do have guys that come from all over the country and a lot of times all over the world and come together for a common good. And that's what you see in sports.
I'm proud to announce that the 2021 Radio Sportscaster EB is awarded to Coulter Nunez, KKVU.
Well, thank you very much. It's actually Nuanez, but I appreciate it so much. And first, got to thank Ryan Tutel, who brought me into radio. I'm a print journalist by profession, and never expected to be winning awards like this. But it has been a tough year, a long year, but I think a worthwhile year. But I have to say congratulations to everybody else who was nominated and who wins awards tonight. I think a lot of the people that work on the news side of things did a lot of important work over the last year. So kudos to you. Journalism is important. It's part of an essential nature of a free democracy. So keep doing great work. Congratulations to all the nominees. And thank you to Ryan Tutel, Becky Smith, who owns Missoula Broadcasting Company, Tommy Evans, my producer, and everybody else that was involved, all the great athletes I get a chance to cover each and every day. So thank you so much.
Congratulations, Coulter. Finalists for Television Sportscaster of the Year are Spencer Martin of KULR and Scott Breen of KTVQ.
At one point, Capster made 85 straight extra points, good for 16th all-time in the country. I don't even have to look. I already know it's good.
Blitz aren't running anymore, so we got to hike up.
Despite not having a varsity football game played here in Lockwood, they've been a great host to high school football in Montana.
You know, Montana's high school state softball tournaments were supposed to open Thursday, but that's all right. It takes us back down memory lane to what was maybe the most unlikely state championship finish in Montana history. Out on the tennis courts today with my 1989 Wilson. You know, Montana's not exactly known as a hotbed for producing high school tennis excellence. That said, we've certainly seen our share of greatness.
And the EB goes to Scott Breen of KTVQ. One of our judges comments, just great writing. The writing takes you on a journey and puts viewers in the moment and is just well done. I'm sure Scott, as a sportscaster, probably had a lot of things going on tonight, and so we want to congratulate Scott Breen. The Radio News Story Award is given to the best news reporter or team for breaking news or news enterprise. Entries may be a single news story or up to 3 examples of news enterprise coverage. Finalists for this year's radio news story are Nick Mott of Montana Public Radio for Montana Begins new round of Clark Fork mine waste cleanup, and Edward O'Brien from Montana Public Radio for our new mental health emphasis provides a lifeline for National Guard soldiers.
We're on a scouting trip to find where some of the most pressing work on the largest complex of Superfund sites in the country is about to begin.
Imagine the Statue of Liberty, that really greenish blue, oxidized copper look, and imagine if you just scraped her off and threw it onto the floodplain of the river.
Just melted her down right here.
Yeah, and just left, and just left it lay in the floodplain. That's really what it looks like.
Captain Casey Ross shoulders a lot of responsibility in her role as executive officer of the Montana Air National Guard's 120th Airlift Wing. It's a career Ross cherishes, one that mental health issues once threatened to unravel. Ross eventually found a therapist she could talk with, but had to quit while attending flight school. After the training ended, the emotional floodgates reopened and she started contemplating
suicide. Yes.
The winner is Edward O'Brien from Montana Public Radio for new mental health emphasis provides a lifeline for National Guard soldiers. Edward O'Brien, congratulations from the EB Awards. Great writing is the foundation of any engaging broadcast. Our first writing award is for a commercial or public service campaign. Finalists for television writer, commercial, and public service are Carly Rainey of KBZK for Williams Plumbing Campaign and Dylan Davies of KTVQ for Parsec Data Management. Protect your data from yourself. Breaker Box.
Is your dad using a chainsaw for our plumbing?
He said it would be more efficient.
The kitchen!
Call Williams Plumbing today before the father-in-law effect happens to you.
Okay, almost done.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Oh yeah, I watched 3 YouTube videos. Pretty straightforward. Ready? Whoa! Okay? Oh, I see what I did here.
Protect your data from yourself. 24/7 security, backup, and monitoring.
This year's winner, Carly Rainey of KBZK for Williams Plumbing Campaign. I'm told that Carly is on a shoot tonight, and so that's why that's more important than accepting this award, of course. Not at all. But we welcome and welcome that she's working on a shoot tonight, and our congratulations again to Carly Rainey of KBZK. All right. The second writing category is for news and long-form programming. Entrants submitted both scripts and the finished work for the judges to evaluate. What a great idea. Finalists for the television writer, news and long-form programming are Paul Zalis of Montana PBS for Charlie Russell's Old West and Casey Conlon of KTVQ.
In the early 19th century, more than 30 million American buffalo were said to blanket the Great Plains. But in a flash, they were virtually all gone. Slaughtered in apocalyptic numbers by market hunters, or decimated by a disease brought north with trail-driven Texas cattle. At the turn of the 20th century, perhaps 1,000 head remained.
In a lot of ways, Reese Danhoff is your typical 9-year-old.
They're so cute.
With impeccable taste and style. But she's special in one very important way.
This year's winner is Paul Zalis of Montana PBS for Charlie Russell's Old West. Our judges noted that this was engaging, suspenseful, easy to listen to, and to watch.
Hello, my name is Aaron Pruitt, and I'm accepting tonight on behalf of Paul Zalis. And we are just so proud of this recognition for Paul Zalis in his writing for Charlie Russell's Old West. Paul's words, so beautifully read by the film's narrator, J.K. Simmons, captured the essence of the time in which Charlie lived, the Montana landscape at its most majestic, and the native peoples of this land. And finally, the essence of Montana's favorite cowboy artist, Charlie Russell, and his wife, Nancy. So congratulations to Paul Zalis. And I would like to join Paul in thanking the judges, the Montana Broadcasters Association, and the Greater Montana Foundation. Thank you again.
Thank you very much. Radio Copywriter of the Year is judged on 3 examples of copy specifically written for local clients. Although entries were based on the copy itself, the judges also listened to the final spots. Finalists for Radio Copywriter of the Year are Sean Hertel of KBAZ for VD Infomercial and Whitney Dorr, KMTX for Yoga Inclusion, Pandemic, ? Oh my.
Soon, you or someone you love will be affected by VD. But now, thanks to the cultivating efforts by Bloom & Bean Floral and Espresso, you can treat your VD symptoms with a VD bouquet for as low as $19.95 for mild cases. Prevent the VD symptoms from coming back with a dozen long-stemmed roses arranged in a vase with a big box of chocolates for only $125. The term VD in this commercial is satire and stands for Valentine's Day. No real medical condition can be promised to cure buying flowers and expressing your love.
Gentle Healing Center is on a mission to make yoga accessible for everyone. That means you with a limited mobility, you in the wheelchair, you with a pregnant belly, you with a beer belly. Improve your mood and well-being with accessible yoga in a welcoming environment. No experience or flexibility needed. GentleHealingHelena.com.
The EB for Radio Copywriter of the Year goes to Whitney Dorr, KMTX for Yoga Inclusion, Pandemic. Oh my.
Oh, wow. Thank you to everyone, and congratulations to all of the people who were nominated. I just got off a very, very long road trip, so sorry. But also it's been a privilege and an honor to create effective messaging for people who need it, especially in an incredibly difficult and challenging year. And the fact that I was trusted with Gentle Healing and Robin, thank you, for getting that word out is really my privilege. So thank you to everybody and to all of the people who mentor me and guide me as beautifully and frequently as they do. You can tell that I was missed. So thank you for letting me have a co-host here. But thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
Whitney, lovely dog. Glad to have your dog join us tonight. Congratulations, Whitney. Now we're going to take a short break from the awards and take a very special moment to remember those who we have lost.
Each year, the Montana Broadcasters Association takes time to remember broadcasters we've lost over the year. This year, we remember these pioneers in Montana broadcasting. Bert Oliphant began his long career in radio by serving as an entertainment specialist for the Armed Forces radio station in Busan, Korea, where he entertained the troops over the radio waves. He started KDBM radio in Dillon in 1957 and purchased KANA radio in Anaconda in 1965. He purchased other stations in Boise, Glendive, and Red Lodge over the years. Oliphant had a deep radio voice, worked hard, and believed in the power of radio. John Coughlan was the bureau chief of the Associated Press in Montana and Wyoming after years in the newspaper business. Coughlan was a proficient rock climber and mountaineer, making his first ascents on pinnacles in Colorado and the Southwest. Evan Slack's radio career spanned 68 years. He broadcasted from 45 states and 4 Canadian provinces and Australia. Slack was a leader in the National Association of Farm Broadcasting and was inducted into the NAFB Hall of Fame in 2009. Ken Benner played a major role in setting up the FCC-approved Alternative Broadcast Inspection Program. A longtime broadcast engineer, Ken served as an ABEB inspector in many states, including Montana. Grace Gardner was born in Virginia, graduated from high school in Kansas City, and went to college in Oregon. But it was Helena that was her longtime home. She had a long and successful career in radio advertising, spanning several stations and multiple decades. She was adventurous, loved to travel, and enjoyed working with Helena's Grand Street Theater. Melanie Wild worked several jobs throughout her life, including in the sales department at KFBB in Great Falls. She later became a licensed massage therapist before her death. Joan Holliday enjoyed a long career as a continuity director at Cherry Creek Radio in Helena. Holliday retired from Cherry Creek Radio in 2015 at the age of 78. She could frequently be heard correcting the grammar in commercials, billboards, and any other media she came across. Bob Toole owned and operated KBCK and KQRV Radio in Deer Lodge for years. He served his community on many boards and as president of the Deer Lodge Chamber of Commerce. Benny B. Sr. started in radio as a DJ in Baker, Montana, and went on to create a small market radio and media company in Kalispell in the Flathead Valley. He bought KJJR in 1979 and grew his group to 7 stations. B spearheaded on-air fundraising for numerous charitable organizations. He was a larger-than-life individual who loved radio. Mick Colleen will best be remembered as the voice of the Grizzlies, where he did play-by-play for football and basketball for more than 30 years. He started as a DJ at KGVO in Missoula and became the PA announcer for the Grizzly football team. He did play-by-play for the Lady Grizz for 8 years. He also worked as a reporter at the Missoulian. Even in retirement, Colleen continued doing his very popular editorials for Anderson Broadcasting in Polson. His calls of Touchdown Montana and Be at Your Best when your best is needed are favorites of Grizzly fans. Charlie Hyatt was a weather person at KFBB TV in Great Falls for years. He was named the NBA Weatherman of the Year in 2008. Charlie served in Vietnam and earned a Bronze Star for his actions in the field under fire. After the war, he served in the Montana Army and Montana Air National Guard, retiring as Master Sergeant. He also worked on air for Great Falls radio stations. Charlie Hyatt is survived by his wife and 2 sons. Brian Kahn was a Helena attorney, journalist, author, and host of the award-winning Homeground radio show. Kahn loved open and often honest conversations on politics, religion, education, wildlife, healthcare, and conservation. His radio program aired on more than 30 commercial and public radio stations in the Rocky Mountain West. Jeff Block worked as an engineer at KMTX Radio in Helena for a number of years before joining the Helena College of Technology, where he inspired students in his electronic courses. Block loved photography, electronics, and the outdoors, where he could frequently be found hiking, sailing, or riding his motorcycle. Bill Ryer enjoyed a 57-year career in broadcasting in the upper Midwest and in Montana. He came to Big Sky Country in 1967 as a GM at Cook Radio in Billings. In 1975, he started KBOZ AM, his first radio station in Bozeman. Ryer would eventually start and operate radio stations in Bozeman, Billings, and Great Falls. He owned 5 stations in Bozeman until 2018. Gene Peterson left his hometown of Culberson to begin a long career in Montana broadcasting. He began at KFBB Radio in Great Falls before moving to KGVO Radio in Missoula in 1962 while attending the University of Montana. He would buy KYLT AM and FM in 1970. In 1991, Peterson made the move to television when he became the GM at KTMF-TV. He later returned to radio to Learfield Communications and back to television at KECI-TV. Peterson generously gave time to his community by serving on numerous boards, including as president of the NBA. He was inducted into the NBA Hall of Fame in 2015. Stan Stevens began his career as a radio journalist and went on to become a leading Republican lawmaker. Governor Stevens began his 38-year career in broadcasting with the United States Armed Forces Broadcast Network during the Korean War. From 1953 to 1985, Stevens and Lyle Leeds were co-owners of KOJM Radio in Havre. He earned the Edward R. Murrow Award for Journalistic Excellence in Editorials. After a career in the Montana State Senate, he was elected governor in 1988. He was inducted into the NBA Hall of Fame in 1996. After high school, Randy Rocks attended Helena Votech for electrical engineering and became a disc jockey with the on-air name of Randy Vincent. While in Helena, Randy met Ronnie, and on July 7, 1973, they were married in Ronnie's hometown of Webo, Montana. In 1978, Randy and his family moved to Billings for his engineering career. While in Billings, Randy worked for KGHL Radio, Yellowstone Public Radio, and started his own business, Rocks Engineering. Randy would love for his friends and family to take a few minutes to listen to Paul Revere and the Raiders and have a cold beer as you remember him as he appreciated his time with you. On behalf of all Montanans, our condolences to the families, co-workers, and friends of all those who we have lost over the past couple years.
Thank you very much, Jim Sense, for doing that. And while we remember the work of all of those who have left us, we also want to take a moment to look to our future. It's now my great honor to recognize the future of media in Montana.
When the former dean of the University of Montana School of Journalism and the chair of the Radio Television Department, Joe Durso Jr., died suddenly in 1998, the Montana Broadcasters Association created a scholarship to remember Joe and to pay tribute each year to other Montana broadcasters who have passed away. We want to let their family and friends know how much we appreciate the wonderful contributions they made to our profession, our communities, and the people of Montana. The Montana Broadcasters Association Joe Durso Jr. Memorial Scholarship is presented each spring at Dean Stone Night, the University of Montana School of Journalism's awards banquet. The scholarship is awarded to an outstanding UM junior majoring in broadcast journalism. This year's recipients are Jordan Redmond and Brooke Oswald. The MBA awards a scholarship to an incoming freshman at the UM School of Journalism. That scholarship was recently awarded to Kylie Hansen of Helena and Tanner Ecker of Townsend. The Montana Broadcasters Association Future of Broadcasting Scholarship is awarded to an MSU student with an interest in acquiring the diverse skills required to be a successful broadcaster. A principal requirement for the scholarship is working for at least one semester at a broadcast station. The first recipient of the MBA Future of Broadcasting Scholarship is Audrey Scheid, who will be a senior this year at MSU and is on our EB crew this evening. Congratulations, Audrey. Our second recipient, Sierra Thomas, will be a junior at MSU this fall. Congratulations, Sierra.
And thank you, Aaron Pruitt. In addition to the scholarships awarded for work in journalism, the Montana Broadcasters Association also awards broadcast engineering scholarships. And this year's recipients are Jake Williams of Montana PBS and Brennan Juden of KDBM, KBEV in Dillon, Montana, and Cody LeBeau of KXLO and KQPZ in Lewistown. And we look forward to all of your contributions to broadcasting in the future. Now, let's get back to the EB Awards. Judges for Podcast of the Year. We're looking for local relevance, usability, the creative use of technology, as well as journalistic and storytelling skill. Finalists for Podcast of the Year our Nora Zacks of Montana Public Radio for Richest Hill, Episode 7. The possibilities are endless, and the choice is ours. And Blake Simonson, Angela Marshall, and Joe Lazar of KTMF for Montana Murder Mysteries podcast.
The day before Valentine's Day, a crowd packed into an ornate ballroom at the Old Finland Hotel for a historic announcement. The Buttes Superfund parties have at last reached a final deal they claim will permanently clean up the mining city.
This is a day that I have just dreamed about, quite frankly, and sometimes thought it would never come.
February 4th, 2021 will mark 47 years since the alarming disappearance of a sassy yet sweet Missoula 5-year-old.
It's kind of one of those cases. If there's any case that deserves to be solved, it's this one.
Today, we open the case files to find out just how authorities tracked down Siobhan McGinnis's killer.
The EB for this relatively new award for Podcast of the Year goes to Blake Simonson, Angela Marshall, and Joe Lazar for KTMF for Montana Murder Mysteries podcast. Our judges commented that they love the gnat sounds and interviews to cover the fascinating topics.
Well, thank you so much. A big thanks goes out to the Montana Broadcasters Association as well as the Greater Montana Foundation on behalf of myself and my co-host Blake Simonson and our sound engineer Joe Lazar. We also want to thank everybody at Coles Montana Media, our station manager Tom Safari, and our news director Emily Adamson. She makes sure that we prioritize this podcast in our schedules because she understands how important it is. And most importantly, a big thanks goes out to all of the victims' families. We just want to say thank you so much for sharing your story with us and allowing us to be able to give these stories to a different platform. And hopefully we can find some resolution to these cold cases. In no way, shape, or form did we figure that Montana Murder Mysteries would take off the way that it has, but we are certainly blessed that it has. Thank you very much.
And thank you for being with us tonight. Congratulations. Finalists for Daily News Report of the Year, Cody Boyer, KBZK for I Had an Angel Next to Me, and Andrea Lutz and Paul Humphrey of KTVQ for Missing in the Mail, Parts 1 and 2.
On August 29, 2020, Mariah Buckman was driving down Churchill Road in Gallatin County when the unthinkable happened. She lost control of her car, which rolled several times uphill. From that point, she didn't know what kind of help she could get in such a rural area until she says she heard a voice of an angel.
Christine Tyler spends her days sifting through paperwork, trying to find answers.
It's bizarre.
This March, her husband of 41 years, Donald, died in Spain, but says when he arrived in the United States, he got lost in the mail.
The 2021 EB for Daily News Report of the Year goes to Andrea Lutz and Paul Humphrey, KTVQ for Missing in the Mail, Parts 1 and 2. And what I'm understanding is you got a big game going on tonight, East-West Shrine game, and that's where a lot of the people that are involved in media and broadcasting in Montana are tonight. So we understand, and congratulations, Andrea Lutz and Paul Humphrey, for winning this award. The television hard news category recognizes a news reporter or a team for a single hard news story, series, or investigative reporting. Evaluations were based on news value, creativity, and production quality. Finalists for the television hard news are Andrea Lutz and Paul Humphrey, KTVQ, for MTN. MTN investigates red means stop. And Cody Boyer, KBZK, for There Isn't a Dish, There Isn't a Fork, There's Nothing. Bridger Canyon family recalls losing home to wildfire.
Montana drivers ignore a common traffic tool dozens of times a day, and it's putting our children's lives at risk.
Take a look. In this video, you can see the school bus stop moving. That's when the arm has deployed. This driver runs through the stop arm, then fails to stop at an intersection behind. In this case, not one or two, but 3 cars run right past the stop arm.
Bill Feniger and his wife have called this their home for 18 years. When that wall of fire came up to his house, he did not expect what would happen next.
There isn't a picture frame, there isn't a dish, there isn't a fork, there's nothing.
Bill Feniger says he was golfing with a friend when he looked up and saw smoke creeping towards his home.
The EB goes to Andrea Lutz and Paul Humphrey for KTVQ for MTN Investigates. Red means stop. Our judges noted that the, quote, reporter did her homework, and I appreciate good journalism. That's the quote from the judge, one of the judges. So congratulations, Andrea Lutz and Paul Humphrey. The television feature news category recognizes excellence in a feature story or a series on the same topic. Judges looked for both imagination and substance, as well as production quality. Finalists for television feature news are Brandon Sullivan, KTVQ, for Hope of Graduation, and Russ Riesinger and Brandon Sullivan, KTVQ, for Meet George Wallace.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we can have your attention, please. We have some enforcement news to share with you. We have received word from the Montana Department of Health and Human Services that there are now 4 confirmed cases in Montana. As such, the Montana High School Association has no choice but to suspend the remainder of Class C boys and girls basketball tournament.
My mother lived to be a little over 100, but I remember saying many times, who would ever thought I'd live this long?
Okay, smile.
I've outlived 3 or 4 golf foursomes. The problem is that you lose all your friends. Of course, then you make some new friends. And that's great, but by and large, it's nothing you can do anything about.
The winner is Russ Riesinger and Brandon Sullivan for KTVQ for Meet George Wallace.
Well, I'm not sure where Russ is tonight. He's probably on the golf course. So I'm accepting for him. We love working together. He does great work, and we're just happy to be here. And so I'm trying not to get to the 37 seconds, so I'll just send it back to you.
Appreciate it. I'm going to make the flight tomorrow because you guys made it 37 seconds. I appreciate it, man. Thank you and congratulations. The final television news category is for coverage of same-day breaking news. Similarly, judges here were looking for news value, substance, and production quality. Finalists for television breaking news are Laura Freeman of KTMF for Mount Sentinel Fire, and Jason Berger of KULR for Barricaded Suspect in Livingston.
Breaking news this evening as fire crews are working to quickly contain a fast-moving fire burning at the base of Mount Sentinel.
Well, one neighbor told me just before 6:15 he saw 2 kids running down the hill from those bushes yelling fire. That's when he and a groundskeeper grabbed some buckets of water and headed up the mountain to start the fire line.
Now we do have breaking news, as you see behind us, out of Park County this evening, where a police standoff underway in the View Vista Village of the Livingston area.
Ben and Angela, I'm here at Park High School in Livingston tonight, and law enforcement have actually set up a command post over here in the high school parking lot. As you can see behind me, it's still a very active scene. Law enforcement has closed off all of the access points to this apartment complex behind me. Details are still limited, but here's what we know so far.
Very pleased to announce that the winner is Laura Freeman of KTMF for Mount Sentinel Fire.
Wow, such an honor. I don't know if everyone just saw my dad do a leap of joy in the background, but we are very excited. I'd like to thank the Montana Broadcast Association and of course the Greater Montana Foundation as well. This clearly was not just an effort on me. This 100% was teamwork. We work hard every day to cover the most important stories happening in Montana, and just so happens that teamwork really made it work. So very quickly, just want to list off who helped on this. Angela Marshall, Ben Wyman, Spencer Schott, Tessa Nato, of course, our amazing control room staff, our photographers who went above and beyond, Joe Lazar and Blake Duffner, and of course, our incredible news director, Emily Adamson. It is such an honor. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Congratulations, Laura. Thank you for being with us tonight. One of the toughest categories to judge, we now enter into the Program of the Year Awards. Now, this category can pit shows of radically different types against one another. To crown a winner, the judges are asked to consider the show's creativity, imagination, substance, and production quality. Entries submitted were either a standalone program or part of a series. Finalists for Commercial Radio Program of the Year are Brian Eklund and John Hendricks and Robin Mitchell from KGEZ for Elizabeth Malika from the Sudetenland to Montana. And Lynn Turner Fitzgerald and Willie Tyler for KWMY, KYYA for Boomers.
If you know our master gardener, Elizabeth Malika, you may not know how she got here.
Our father was Sudeten German. So the Sudetenland was a part of Czechoslovakia. And so after World War I, it was declared as a country. And so it was a protectorate of Germany.
The giant Jell-O concoction was a publicity stunt for an Australian swimming pool company. Paul Squire and Jeff Ross created the record-holding mass using 7,700 gallons of water and countless boxes of watermelon-flavored Jell-O.
Now I got Jell-O in my mouth, Jell-O in my mouth.
Boomers is back Monday.
The EB goes to Lynn Turner Fitzgerald and Willie Tyler from KWMY and KYYA for Boomers. So we move on with the next awards and the finalists for the 2021 Television Program of the Year are Sean Newton and Dylan Davies of KXLH for Under the Big Sky, episode 08, and Donna Kelly from KBZK for Face the State.
When an orchestra allows you in, there's nothing more magical.
He would just tell stories all night long, didn't want people to leave. He never wanted it to close.
I think it's a memory maker, you know? It slows life down in a good way.
Recently, I sat down with pediatrician Dr. Nancy Snyderman about the anxiety for children and parents about going back to school.
The doctor started with her thinking on wearing a mask.
So I'd rather have a mask on my face than a tube down my throat. I think wearing masks is a sign of understanding public health, respecting each other, and obviously I want to stay safe.
The EB goes to Sean Newton and Dylan Davies of KXLH for Under the Big Sky, episode 08.
Well, thank you very much. First, thank you to the Montana Broadcasters and the Greater Montana Foundation for this recognition and for their continued support of Under the Big Sky. Also, I'd like to say thank you to my partner in crime, Dylan Davies, and also to John Saunders and our entire team here at MTN. Also, I'd like to recognize Danny Wong of the Pekin Noodle Parlor, who passed away prior to the airing of our story with the Butte icon, and to all those who made an impact on Montana broadcasting who passed away this year, we say a sincere thank you. And finally, we'd like to say thank you to all of the nominees this evening for all of their tireless work this past year that makes Montana broadcasting so excellent. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. The finalist for Non-Commercial Radio Program of the Year, Non-Commercial Radio Program, Stella Fong, KEMC for Flavors Under the Big Sky, and Montana Public Radio, Yellowstone Public Radio, and Montana Free Press for Shared State Episode 01. Preamble.
The COVID pandemic is changing our food culture. Restaurants have altered the way they serve customers. We're cooking more at home. Here in Billings, we're buying more local. The Yellowstone Valley Food Hub connects small farms and producers with local buyers year-round.
One of the benefits I love seeing, especially during the summertime, is we are naturally helping people eat seasonally.
If you live in Montana and you've turned on the TV lately or the radio, you've probably heard something like this.
Mike Cooney for governor. As lieutenant governor, Mike Cooney partnered with Governor Bullock to expand
Political ads. They're everywhere. As a viewer, sometimes it feels like trying to understand code. What the candidates say, or sometimes what that big, scary narrator voice says, and what we're supposed to take away.
And the EB goes to Montana Public Radio, Yellowstone Public Radio, and Montana Free Press for Shared State Episode 01. Preamble. And our judges said, and we quote, "I will forever view political ads differently, thanks to this piece."
Thank you so much. This just means the world to us. I'll try to talk fast because we had a really large team behind this project. The first thing to say is this really represents a new world for Montana radio journalism. It's a collaboration, first of its kind, between Montana Public Radio, Yellowstone Public Radio, and Montana Free Press. And that's just remarkable for us. And I want to thank everybody involved in the show, our host, Sarah Aronson, our producer, Mara Silvers, who worked tirelessly to get this done. Our editors, Corin Case Carney, Nikki Willett, Brad Tyre, John Adams, and our reporters, Eric Dietrich, Rachel Kramer, in addition to everybody else, also as reporters, Charlie Bolte and Caitlin Nicholas, and probably other people I'm forgetting. So thank you so much. This is a true honor.
Thank you and congratulations. Finalists for Non-Commercial Television Program of the Year. This is Non-Commercial Television Program of the Year. Gus Chambers, Paul Zalis, William Marcus, and Aaron Pruitt from Montana PBS for Charlie Russell's Old West. And John Twiggs, Ray Eckness, and Aaron Pruitt, Montana PBS for Keeping the Barn.
Time was slipping away from Russell, and the painting would become almost an homage, a wistful last curtain call for some of the most memorable characters in Russell's life. It was his personal goodbye version of the West that has passed.
His Montana becomes the subject that he always returns to in his art.
They rise by two-lane highways. They sit on open prairies. They stand next to mountains. They're workplaces. They're playgrounds. They are beloved buildings.
The 2021 Non-Commercial Program of the Year winner is John Twiggs, Ray Eckness, and Aaron Pruitt from Montana PBS for Keeping the Barn. Our judges commented, and I quote, "Videography was just exceptional. It seemed like every shot was better than the one before it."
Well, we certainly appreciate that praise. Thank you very much. We want to thank the Montana Broadcasters Association, and of course the Greater Montana Foundation. An extra shout out to GMF because they've been so supportive of our projects throughout the years. We'll have to thank the executive producers, Ray Agnes and Aaron Pruitt, for giving me the time to finish the project. And of course, most importantly, thanking all the farmers and ranchers and families that have put their blood, sweat, and tears into keeping these beautiful buildings standing. As you would imagine, it was great fun to work on this project. So thank you.
In order to enter this next category, stations tape their primary newscast each day for a designated one-week period in early March. Only after the fact were they informed of which day was the EB News Day. The day was specifically selected to be market neutral, and if a big event happened in any market, the day was excluded from the competition. Finalists for Radio Newscast of the Year are Peter Christian of KGVO in Missoula and Troy Mellinger, KWGF.
The Missoula City County Health Department's registration for Tuesday and today's vaccination clinics at Lucky's Market was rushed, with the 4 p.m. sign-up announced only an hour earlier at 3 p.m. All 400 vaccinations were snapped up in less than 8 minutes. University of Montana officials heartened by the fact that enrollment for the spring semester has held steady despite the continuing COVID-19 pandemic.
Montana Department of Revenue Director Brendan Beatty at the legislature yesterday saying House Bill 303 would allow business owners to reinvest the savings in their communities. Now, for more from the Capitol, here's Austin Amestoy.
House Bill 252 promises tax credits to cover trade school tuition for employees. Austin Trunkle of Big Sky Economic Development spoke in support of the bill.
Montana must remain competitive in developing, training, and retaining our state's workforce, and we see House Bill 252 doing just that.
And the EB goes to Troy Mellinger of KWGF.
Look at my support crew. Here they are. Yay! Oh, it is an honor, first of all, to be chosen, of course, especially in the company of Peter Christians. He is the tops, and of course, he set the bar very high, and I've learned so much from him. So again, congratulations for being a finalist, Peter. It's always great in competition over the last 2 or 3 years, well, to say the least. But a big thank you, of course, to the Montana Broadcasters Association, Greater Montana Foundation as well. I want to thank, of course, my general manager, Jim Senst, who, of course, allows me to cover any story, whatever it may be, for as long as it's only 2 minutes long. So appreciate that. But I do want to recognize, of course, my support crew here. First of all, is my granddaughter, Tulsa, her friend, Stephanie, and Tegan. And I know that I only get 37 seconds, but come on over here. This is a little special something for, I think it's Brandon Sullivan. Is that right? Brandon Sullivan. A couple of years ago, he mentioned that he had a smoking hot, isn't that smoking hot fiance? Here's my smoking hot wife of 38 years, okay? So it does work out, Brandon, all right? And I hope it's working out for you as well. But again, big thank you to all the support at work. And again, appreciate being here tonight. Thank you.
Congratulations, Troy, and well wishes to everybody there with you tonight to share in your congratulations. Troy Mellinger. Finalists for Television Newscast of the Year are KECI, NBC Montana News Team, and KTMF, KFBB, KWYB News Team.
Now we're going to track some snow bands as we head through the remainder of your evening, but our bigger story will be that cold.
We keep talking about dangerous wind chill, but what does wind chill? How does it impact our bodies? Brady Brewster is using 3D technology to explain.
We all know that wind can be dangerous, but how does that wind impact how our bodies retain heat? Well, our bodies are always losing heat through a process called convection.
I'm Afika Sham in Great Falls, bringing the latest on first responder search efforts after 2 fishermen went missing in Toole County Monday.
I'm Tessa Nato in Missoula, where it's obvious that despite the pandemic, community members are still showing support for local businesses. I'll tell you how.
I'm Madison Atkinson in Bozeman, where Gallatin County first responders and Montana Special Olympics paired up for their annual polar plunge event today.
It's 6 o'clock. You're watching Montana Right Now.
The 2021 EB for Television Newscast of the Year goes to KECI NBC Montana News Team.
Certainly a big honor for NBC Montana. Many thanks go out to the Montana Broadcasters Association and the Greater Montana Foundation. 2020 was certainly a historic year on so many levels. Information coming in so fast, so many unknowns happening in 2020. And our NBC Montana team, we leaned into that commitment for Montana journalism, asking and getting answers to our viewers' questions, and so they could make the best decisions for their families and the communities that they serve. Many thanks go out to our news director, Chris Avery, and Vice President, General Manager Tammy Wagner for leading our news team and supporting our NBC Montana journalists. It's all to you. And on behalf of all of us at NBC Montana, thank you for this award.
Congratulations, KECI. The On-Air Broadcaster of the Year, presented to an individual who has demonstrated overall professional excellence. This category is eligible to on-air talent in any capacity. Entrants submit a 15 to 30-minute taped presentation and a personal statement. The judges look for quality and professionalism, but other intangibles like community involvement, they're also considered. The finalists for Radio On-Air Broadcaster of the Year are Troy Shockley of KCAP and Brian Lee and Chris Wolf of KZOQ.
Breaking news from News Radio 95 KCAP. Officials have been saying for days that it wasn't a matter of if, but rather a matter of when. The when, it has been announced, is now. 4 cases of COVID-19 have been found here in Montana. One of those cases here in Lewis and Clark County.
Now, direct from the King's Landing Studios, the Brian and Chris Show.
All right, today's question, would you go to a concert without a vaccine? David, would you go?
I would go to a concert.
Without having to have a vaccine?
Yeah. Well, it depends on who it is. I'm not going to go see some country bumpkin band.
Our 2020 EB winner and Radio On-Air Broadcaster of the Year, Brian Lee and Chris Wolf of KZOQ.
Fantastic news. Thank you, John. Good to see you. And thanks so much to the Montana Broadcasters Association and the Greater Montana Foundation for this E.B. Craney Award. And the state broadcasters who reviewed and voted for all these entries. That was such an amount of work, and we really appreciate that. And like us all, we had a very challenging 2020, and to be recognized for all the effort that we put into supporting the community and being a friend to all our listeners this past year, and bringing this station back and keeping our own sanity, it was quite a trick, needless to say. And on behalf of Chris Wolf and myself, I thank you so very much for this award. Thanks.
All right, congratulations, Brian. Thank you for being with us tonight, and congratulations to Chris as well. All right, finalists for Television On-Air Broadcaster of the Year, Shannon Newth of KRTV and John Twiggs of Montana PBS.
Morning, and thanks for joining us for this edition of Face the State on MTN stations across Montana.
The iconic Red Kettle campaign is the Salvation Army's biggest fundraiser of the year. Due to COVID-19, there were about half the usual number of kettles and bell ringers around Great Falls this holiday season.
We have both candidates on the ballot in our studio tonight, and they are current state auditor, Republican candidate Matt Rosendale. Welcome, Mr. Rosendale. And former state legislator, Democratic candidate Kathleen Williams. And welcome, Ms. Williams. I'm John Twiggs. Well, we're going to get you the latest numbers as we approach the 11 o'clock hour, and it's definitely a Republican trend.
Our television EB winner for Television On-Air Broadcaster of the Year, Shannon Newth of KRTV.
Thank you so much. I'm truly so honored. There are so many more deserving people, I feel, than me for this award. So I'm truly humbled. It was a goal, if you will, of mine from the time I was an intern at KRTV 14 years ago to strive to be good enough to be nominated. So this truly is a dream come true and an honor. After the year we've had, when I go on every morning, my goal is just to connect with viewers, to be genuine, to be authentic, to be a face and someone that they can trust, and also to brighten their day a little bit after such a difficult year. I also want to say thank you to my support team that's over there, my mom and my grandma, who have always been such big cheerleaders. Thank you so much. I'm truly honored.
We want to thank all of you for your participation in this year's awards. Congratulations to all the finalists and all of the winners. And thanks to the Greater Montana Foundation and the Montana Broadcasters Association for their sponsorship of the E.B. Craney Awards. I think we're about to say goodnight, and I want to remind you, if you're driving home, to be very careful. Thank you very much. Have a great week.